Hey everyone, my name is Kobi Stok and I'm the VP Product of WalkMe. And today I'm going to touch how AI is going to impact your digital experience in the future. But before I do that, I will want to tell you about WalkMe. So at WalkMe, we developed what we call a digital adoption platform. A digital adoption platform essentially makes sure that the software that you use is optimized in the experience, optimized in the performance, and you get the ROI that you need from this software. WalkMe was founded in 2011. We have more than 800 employees globally, and we've raised more than $300 million. A lot of customers are using our digital adoption platform, and we have more than 30% of Fortune 500 that are our customers. You can see some of the logos in the presentation. Now, I want to talk about how AI is being used today. So we all use products that is using AI, and I want to give some examples, right? So we can see AI on Spotify, Netflix, Facebook, Amazon, and a few others maybe. And the main thing that AI is being utilized today is content. So the AI, the engine, suggests us what to see, suggests us what to listen, builds our feed, builds our inventory on Amazon, etc., etc., etc. But no one tells me today how should I do it? Where should I fund it? So it's still in the very beginning, and I want to progress by illustrating and showing you how WalkMe doing that. And by that, I want to talk about a problem in your workplace. So today, as employees, especially in the working from home era, we use a lot of software, right? We use Zoom, we use Salesforce, we use Zendesk, we use, basically a lot of components, and we are overwhelmed. At WalkMe, we have more than 300 software pieces that we use internally, and we're a medium-sized company. So imagine a big company, how many software pieces they use. So an employee today don't know what to do. Can't understand if to reach application A, application B, where to start, whether some process changed, maybe due to COVID-19. So employees don't know how to operate the software, don't know how to do the processes. And again, companies today who build this software, they really care about the user experience. Moreover, companies that are buying this software can't understand if it's working for them or not, right? They invest so much money in buying software. For every problem, they buy a new software, and it accumulates. And companies don't understand whether they have a positive ROI, whether the employees are using it, whether it helps and progress the business. And this is where WalkMe comes in. WalkMe basically takes care of any software and makes it more reachable, makes it more usable, makes it more, I would say, adopted by the employees. Because we believe that the technology is digital, but the users are human, and it's not always correlated with one another. WalkMe essentially provides what we call an augmented digital experience. WalkMe is essentially a layer that can sit on top of any software. It can be an HTML application, it could be a mobile application, a desktop application. Once you embed WalkMe, and embedding WalkMe is very simple, WalkMe is like a transparent layer between the software and the end user. WalkMe is constructed by 4 elements. The first part is insights. Using our technology that I will elaborate very soon, we capture the way that the users are using the software. We understand which pages they are in, which elements they interact with, which inputs they fill, etc. And we send it to our backend. In addition, we have the second layer that's called guidance. Guidance is essentially a UI that explains the end user what should they do, where to go, where to click, in a very simple and straightforward way. We have a lot of ways to do that, but one way could be balloons that instructing the users what to click, how to fill this field, whether it's in an email, whether it's in an SKU number, etc., etc., etc. The third layer of WalkMe is what we call engagement, and it means who should we target. It can be, for example, new users, premium users, users for a specific department, a lot of options. So engagement decides who should we guide. And number 4, the last layer is automation. It's essentially taking a process, a user journey, and boost it and accelerate it and save the user time and conflicts with how they do the process by doing the actions for them. So an automation would click and the end user would sit still and just wait for the automation to be completed, and bottom line, saves time, boosts productivity. Now I want to drill down on the technologies that enable WalkMe to do what we do. And I will focus on the core technologies. 2 pieces. One is DeepUI. So WalkMe's algorithm is an AI-based algorithm that understands application like human beings. If I will show you a login page, for example, that you've seen for the first time, right? You will understand that it's a login page. And why is that? Because you will see a place to fill in your username, a place to fill in your password, and a button. It's a pattern that we see it over and over again. And this is how WalkMe's DeepUI works. Using AI, we can identify patterns, and by identifying the patterns, we can understand the application automatically without the need to instrument, to define special events, etc., etc., etc. So WalkMe's DeepUI learns the application and understands all of the components. So once DeepUI understood the application, then we are sending those events by understanding the application, and we describe what the end users are doing, where they are going, and we send this data to the backend. After we have this data in the backend, we have another technology that's called process discovery. And it's essentially taking all of the data that was created by DeepUI, apply AI on top of that, and to get the list of processes, and again, without the need to predefine it. So for example, if I'm using an HR application, I can see, for example, missing days reports, and how to export my salary slip, how to upload certain documents, etc. And I can also drill down to those processes to understand how they work and where the voids are. What are the problems? Where users fail, where users don't understand, right? And basically impact their productivity. And that's the key. So using AI, we can do 2 things. A, understand how the application works and operates and send this data to our backend. And number 2, process this data. And again, using AI to surface all of the business processes so we can understand the voids and solve it throughout our digital adoption platform, throughout our guidance, engagement, and automation now. So what's the bottom line here? What's the future? How this is really changes the way, we operate today. So as I mentioned before, this will impact how we consume digital, because those technologies will help you to get applications that are personalized to you. Application that understands who you are, where you work, and what you should do next to save you time and to keep you focused. And this is just an example that I'm showing on the screen that basically provides a simple way to start your day, right? Imagine that you open your computer and it says, "Hello, Kobi." And by understanding everything that I did before that, and by understanding the usage of the apps, it suggests me what should I do next. And I can also search in a free text about how to do an action. For example, how to approve time for my employees, how to see a specific dashboard of a rollout of a release that we did. I don't even need to think which application I have underneath. It's basically the UI of everything. Everything that I can need to do, I can do it by WalkMe. So thanks for the time. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.